Namaskar. The cost of corruption who really pays. Today we are not talking about theory, we are talking about reality, the kind people feel every single day but rarely hear spoken clearly. Across many parts of the system, there is a growing perception backed by investigation report, audit finding, and public data that corruption is no longer an exception. It has, in many cases, become normalized from procurement scams to inflated infrastructure contract, from regulatory manipulation to tax leakages. The number are staggering. According to global estimated, the organization like Transparency International corruption cost economies billions of annually, and in developing system, it can amount to be a significant percentage of GDP. Now think about what that really means. The money is not abstract. It is a public money. It comes from taxes, from fuel prices, from GST, and daily spending of ordinary citizens. And when that money is diverted, delayed, or siphoned in Mauritius and other countries who, whose siphoned in these countries, it does not disappear. It creates a vacuum where hospital remain unfunded, schools lack of basic infrastructure, job creation slows down, and public services deteriorated. At the same time, we see another side of the story: lavish displays of wealth, expensive convoys, high-end vehicles, massive election spending, rallies costing tens of crores. Official disclosure in many democracies shows that the election campaign have become extraordinarily expensive. A rising serious question: where is the money come from? It is more important what expectations and attached to it. There is cycle become dangerous. When power become expensive to acquire, it often become even more expensive to sustain. And when government becomes transactional, public services risk turning into the private gain. It is thus not just the individual, it is about the systematic incentive that reward extraction over efficiency. Just like to say that Justice Verma. Now let's address the most of uncomfortable question: who benefit? Data inconsistency shows that the small fraction of individuals, those who access the political, bureaucratic, and economic leverage, often control the disappropriate share of the resources decision making power. Whether that number of 4% of slightly more or less pattern or its clear concentration of influence lead to the concentration of wealth, and who pays the price? Answer of simple: the majority. Common citizen pays through the higher cost, fewer opportunities, slower growth, and reduced trust of institutional. Youth struggle for job not because talented is lacking, but because the system are not optimized for the fair opportunity. Small businesses suffer because the compliance become burden rather than the support, and honest taxpayer feels increasingly alienated. But here the critical point: this is not a story of hopelessness. It is a story of accountability waiting to happen. History shows the system do not remain unbalanced forever. Transparency laws, the digital governance, public audit, independent media, citizen awareness have already started shifting to landscape. Leakages reduce the process of become digital. Discretion reduces when the become transparent, and corruption weaken when scrutiny become constant. The real question is not whether is the system flawed, it is whether there is enough collective will to fix it. Because governance is not distant machine, it is a reflection of participation, pressure of public demand. When citizens demand accountability, when institutional enforce consequences, when transparency become non-negotiable, even the most entrenched system begin to the change. So today, take away the simple but powerful: corruption is survive silence. Accountability began with awareness, and change, real structural change, began the moment people stop accepting dysfunction as normal. This is not a just of money, it is a trust. And once trust is broken, rebuilding is become most urgent task in a nation. Thank you listening.